Beautiful souls. Hi, beautiful souls. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How are you doing? Let me know where you're joining from and how is your day going on so far? And also let me know, what are you grateful for today? Hi, as Great Lakes, quiet day, grateful for slow living. Isn't it fantastic? You don't need to be on that roller coaster or a hamster wheel. It's amazing. The simple things. Did you even realize actually, the more you meditate, the more you do mindfulness, your lifestyle becomes a bit slow and the things pass by, but it doesn't bother us, at least somewhere to begin with, right? Hi, Sylvie. Good morning. Grateful to be alive. Yes, so important to breathe, to feel that energies. Hi, Vita. Good morning. Yeah, it's so important to acknowledge what we are grateful for each and every day. I do this practice first thing in the morning and also before going to bed. Hey, Julie. Good to see you. Good afternoon. Love to you. Love to everyone. Are you guys new to my talk or lives? I do recognize some of you being there before. So my name is Srimanju. I'm here in Seattle. And I'm coming on live most of the mornings on the weekdays with Akashic Records topic or meditation, angels. Generally, mostly it will be tools and techniques, Reiki energy healing. Next week, it'll be the new moon coming up. So I love to connect with you guys and share the experiences that has brought in light into the awakening journey. Keeping it simple. Hey, Alina, happy Ganesh Chaturthi party till 10th of September. I think it's on the 9th. Yeah, the festival is on the 9th. Isn't it great? 9/9 portal and also Ganesha's birthday festival as a child. Sometimes it's just those memories come back, isn't it? What we enjoyed as a child, and some remain the best part. Like some people celebrating Christmas, if they have enjoyed a few things as a child, that always brings up. And what we didn't like, we don't follow, we don't do it. So how far, so far in the day, how is it going? So grateful to have you guys here. And so today is about discussing or sharing how to raise our vibrations, energies. So to begin with, I would like to ask you guys, do you feel the energies when you're out and about, like through the people, going into the shops or through the work colleagues, work atmosphere? Do you ever feel that? Yes. Elena, that's a great idea, Ganesh party in YouTube. Maybe we can do some chanting. That would be great. Yeah, energies are so everywhere, and these are changeable as well. That's the most important thing to remember before we begin, like setting a baseline here. When I say raising our vibrations, doesn't mean we are always going to be at a low, but it's like a heartbeat goes high and low all the time. When it is low, the most important thing is to make sure it's not at that place for a long time, and realizing or bringing it onto the higher vibe. Yeah, it's just like we can do all this work and it's useful, or we are grateful for all this only when we are having that heartbeat, right? So when there is a down moment, we need to always remember there is going to be a high moment. Yeah. And with that attitude here, just observing, not to judge yourselves, just to observe and see what you can bring in to your practice, into your toolbox right today, and use them. Yeah, some of the things that I'm going to share, you may have heard before, you might be practicing, but sometimes it's just that reminders we do need, like, as I tell in the lives, like, sometimes these reminders are for me as well. And I make a note, I think, oh, I forgot to use it, like, let's bring it up, because something else you're doing, like it could have been at the back of your mind, you never used it or you hardly thought about it. Now it's most important to bring it forward. Yeah. So energy is like that subtle vibrations that you feel like being around some person who is having a great intentions, looking after well, or inspiring us all the time, and we want to be there, right? And we look up to, like, this is your visionary person or something that you have a thought about, like, I want to be someone like them, like, I want to become like them. So this is the energy that is speaking to you about them. Yeah, when I see someone, I used to go to the events like Hay House. I can do events when they were in person, and seeing the speakers, I used to always think, like, I love that energy they're bringing up. Or Tony Robbins, like, the way he dances and he makes the crowd move. I love that whole shift and the energy. I don't know, you guys, you ever watched his YouTube or live? There's a great energy, and I love that when you see that you want to be there, somewhere within you the energy is shifting. It's not allowing you to be stagnant anymore, like, and that is what it is to be where you are, to want to be where you want to be, is those steps that we are going to take right now. Yeah. One thing is recognizing how are my energies every day, like, when you wake up in the morning, how are you feeling, not determining by the sleep that you had, but your body, but your soul. What is the energy of your soul today? Like, am I in a doing attitude, or am I in a recharging attitude, or I'm in, like, go get things, like, am I in that portal, like, setting that intention first thing in the morning, setting that is so important. So we are holding that vibe throughout the day. But when you wake up and say, oh my God, so much to do, even the tone of us, when we say so much to do, the whole shoulders dropping, the body changing, that makes us like such a heavy weightlifting that we need to do. We have to do, like, as no choice, but rather than enjoying the process. Yeah. So remember to use that as the first thing, as a reminder in the morning, even before you check your phone or you check any messages, the first thing you implant in your mind is the most important thing. Yeah, that goes a long way throughout the day, those vibrations. Yeah. And also, like, thinking about, like, yeah, recognizing, like, later on, like, oh, how am I feeling now, like, I'm not feeling great, what's happening, sitting with that energy again, like, is it my physical pain, is it my emotional, or is it my stress levels being like, and thinking about which are the areas that I need to focus on right now. Say, let's say on the physical level, if you're feeling low energies, think about what can you do. Can you do a bit of movement, walk or jog, meet some friends, get some fresh air, play a game? Something to move around is amazing to shift the physical body. Now, I have been there where I couldn't even walk 10 steps without so much pain or so much of a gap between each of my steps. Like, I do understand if someone is in that position, but you can visualize that you're moving, you're mobile, you're dancing in your mind. Play some music, and that will automatically shift the rhythm. Have you guys watched this movie Chef? We were watching last night Chef, and there was this Cuban music, and my feet, my toes, my hands, everything was moving. Like, I'm so used to Bollywood music, but this was shifting. This was moving within my soul. Like, there is some music that speaks to us. We don't need the languages. We don't need to understand it. There is a direct connection with those vibes within our heart, our soul. So music again plays a biggest part in changing those physical vibrations as well. Hot shower or cold shower, actually, not the hot shower, cold shower is great. I know it freaks us if you're in like a country like Seattle or Ireland, like where I was, like, most of the part of my life now. But just even one time drenching yourself with the cold water gives you a fright to the system, and you wake up. Like, trust me, try it out. I have tried it. It was part of the Reiki book I was reading when we were getting trained. There, the author was mentioning cold shower is great to shift the energies, and that I understood. That's the reason, like, in India, a lot of people do get up at 4 o'clock, have the cold bath, and then do the prayers and then start their day. I never understood why they would do that, like crazy thing, 4 o'clock in the morning. But that made me understand, that is a great habit. So once in a while I do that. It's just such a shock to the system. You're awake as well. And now you would have seen in the social media as well, where people are in the tub full of ice, and they're inside for like 15 minutes or something. And again, their system, their body, the skin, everything gets a shift in, isn't it? So I can't do that extreme, but definitely just even having a quick cold shower will be great. Yeah. And coming to the hot water, the tub is great, like, with some Epsom salts or Himalayan salts, because the energy on the physical body is making us, even though you feel like I'm good, like emotionally, I'm not in a crazy place, much better to where I belong, like, but it's just that you can't shift because we have been picking up the energies from everywhere else, like, and our aura is holding on to those low energies, and that is making us feel drained. Do you feel that heaviness on your shoulders, other than your ergonomics or your lower back or your legs being tired, and you just go to the shop, come back so drained? That is all the aura as well speaking up to you. So here, salt disintegrates those heavy energies and releases them and shifts them into the positive vibes. And that is amazing that you can do this. Himalayan lamps are really good. Yeah, definitely. There is a big thing that you can notice, that there is a change in your home atmosphere as well with the Himalayan lamps, because those are the genuine ones. Like, the salt sucks all the energies. I have noticed it, like, I used to have in my therapy place. And a couple of times when I had those toxic energy people walking into, because it's a therapy place, everyone is welcome, right? The next day my salt would be just draining up, like, I can see it all melting up, like, yeah. And at start I freaked out, but then I realized, like, it was sucking all the energies and releasing and melting away. Like, yeah, you just need to again cleanse it and hold it up. Yeah, so that was a good physical observation. Like, what we carry on the things as well, it does impact. It's the same thing, like, you talk to two plants or the seeds that are germinating, one with a loving thoughts, one with the negative vibes, like, which one does good, like, and the one that is doing good is usually with the positive thoughts, that is just shining up. We took 2 weeks break recently, and we were not in the home. There were loads of indoor plants, and when I came back, one of my plants was like nearly dying. It was my favorite jasmine plant, and I so love it. The fragrance of the jasmine flowers in the evening in the hall is amazing. I love it. And so I started keep telling the plant, I love you so much. You're my favorite plant. Please hold up and please thrive. And within a week, it started blossoming up. And it's amazing what the nature, everything living thing has an energy and it can be shifted. Now, if someone says you don't have a green fingers, try this technique. You won't be disappointed. Mostly all my indoor plants thrive with this. And if not, I do place some crystals as well on them. So which is a great technique. Yeah. Himalayan balls for massages are really good for the skin. Himalayan balls, I never came across that, Alina. I might check that, yeah. But why not? Definitely the salt scrub is amazing, not only for your skin, but also for your aura and the energy that's holding up just on the surface of your skin. Yeah. So I presume it's the same thing as well with the Himalayan balls, but I have never seen them or heard about them yet. Yeah. So definitely salt, anything to do with the salt is great. Epsom salts, if you have leg cramps, magnesium flakes is good. And Himalayan salt is great as well. But if you have any other health conditions, do check with your doctor. Is it okay for you to be in the bath? And if someone doesn't have a luxury of having a bath, maybe you can fill up in the tub water and you can just pour over with a mug, so that will do as well. It's just trying to think about the ways that you can use it. Yeah. I have a rose quartz face massager. It's great. Yes, that is amazing. Yeah. And also there is this jade crystal as well, isn't it? The rollers, they are great. Yeah, because it's think about all these massages and everything is about cleansing not only the skin, the energy shifting up. Yeah, no wonder if someone is taking care of themselves, the self-care, it just shows up in the glow of their face as well. Yeah, you just can't pretend that I'm doing nothing. You are doing, so only it's visible outside. Yeah. So these are the simple things that you can do it. Where were we with the salt things? Yeah. So the physical body on the salt, definitely moving, music, dance, Tai Chi, yoga, these are great ones that you can shift the vibrations. And when I say the shift the vibrations, sometimes with the physical things, that is what it's needed. Maybe also check sometimes if you're feeling low in energy all the time, it's worth to check with your doctors and get your bloods done as well. Last year I was going through this. I never felt so low in energy, no matter what I was doing. All the things that I'm saying here, I was practicing, I swear. And yet there was something. And then I went to the doctors. Some deep inside it said, get your bloods checked, especially vitamin D. And my doctor said, no, you have a brown skin. You will be fine. You don't need vitamin D. But I said, no, doesn't feel right. Please do this. And when it came back, it was at the lowest point. All right. Okay. So your intuition speaks. You just need to be more convincing them to get to what you want to do. And so I started taking, and the energy shifted after taking the vitamin D. So sometimes it could be the other medical intervention needed as well. Do check it out. Yeah. And coming into the thoughts of it, from physical body to the mind. So when the mind is at a low vibe, generally that's the first trigger it comes in. We all grew with the same limiting beliefs, or the chatterbox, or the worries, anxieties. All these are things, no matter where you are in the world, you're trained. That connected matrix was training us all in. Now, when there is a limiting belief, I have been so used to it now, I do question, where is it coming from? One of the things. Life has to be hard, or you need to work hard to make it easy or have a good lifestyle. And this is one of the things I heard my dad talking all the time, or some other people from their generations talking about it. And since my 20s, I have been working so hard, over 60 hours a week, like most of you would be doing the same as well because of that condition. And yet, when you have to treat yourself going for a dinner, you question yourself, is it worth it? I work so hard. Is it worth it for me to spend on an expensive dinner? And then you don't even do it. That was a moment it again triggered into this path of the healing was, Why am I working hard when I can't enjoy it? And do I really need to work hard and not enjoy it? So there was this vicious circle going on. Then I had to change it and ask myself, is this my limiting belief, or did I have any experience of lack or scarcity or a lack in my life ever? No. But it was my dad's, and the conditions he put on was he was coming from a farming background, but then he was shifting into being into an engineer. So totally different. He was doing something that none of his family members have ever done. So he put that belief on himself and he started believing that, living by it, which worked for him. And then he started passing on without even he realizing it. And not only him, like that, there are so many millions of parents who have done this condition with their own upbringing, what they have felt, and they're doing for us. And here now is a time that you can question back. Where is it coming from? Is it true for yourself? And can you change those thoughts? Yeah, that's the most important thing, because their belief is not your belief. What their life journey is not your journey. What your soul contract is not their soul contract. That's the most important thing. Your hurdles might be somewhere else, not at this point that you're even overdoing without even thinking there is a hurdle there. Yeah. People used to say, my friends, when we have two girls, they used to say like, oh my god, life is going to be so hard for you guys, two girls, two crazy teenagers in your home. I never can imagine you ever getting a piece in your head, like, they used to scare us all the time. And that made me think, oh my god, is this real? In one of the mornings, I was attending one of the events in London. We were standing in the queue, and I was talking to a few girls there, and about the girls we were talking, and she said, "Don't even think about it. Your children you are raising in a conscious way. The people who have said maybe they're not aware of it, it was true for them, but you are putting those thoughts and manifesting the trouble to come in your life." I thought, like, oh my God, that is so true. Unknowingly, we are building and we are chanting that, we are repeating that, and yeah, bingo, it's happening, isn't it? So many things we do manifest. We, from that lack again, not believing 100%, what are we asking and where we are with it. And since then, I started saying, I'm a loving children. They are very much peace and calm, and they understand us. So I started changing the vocabulary anytime it comes. Now I don't even think about it unless I speak about this event. So it's been amazing. Like, yes, they do have teenage moments, but also it made me understand so much is happening in their hormones. Like, any teenager will go through, and where else can they show that? Home is the place where they can belong, right? And when you give that safe environment, which is what they needed to be hearing, it's like setting that boundary is the most important. In the boundary, like, babies, they have those little cribs, the play cribs, where you just leave them there and you expect them, they can't come out when they're at that walking or crawling stage. And that's exactly, give that the boundary to them. That's it. They'll have fun. They'll do whatever they want to do in that boundary. And once they cross the boundary, they know it's not good or it's hurting others. Like, you need to let them know. And that's the most important thing. Yeah. So that definitely changed. Like, changing your thoughts is the most important thing to change the vibrations in your life as well. Like, saying every morning, saying, it's another day, or wow, it's wonderful, it's another beautiful day, such a difference, right? So this is how you are going to build. Whatever you're saying is what you're projecting, what you are bringing. And if things are not working out, they haven't been as you planned for, question, what was my vision? Where did I go wrong? Or where did I miss a plot here? What did I ask for and what did I get? That self-inquiry from time to time is so valuable, so needed. Now, let me know, guys, in the comments here, do you guys ever spend time to do self-inquiries? I think pandemic has given a lot of space for people who have ever thought about themselves to really focus and think about themselves since last year. So let me know in the comments, are you resonating with this? And do you take time for the self-inquiries? It's painful, but it's so worth it, isn't it? Like, yeah, when we sit and think and write about it. Yeah. Hey, Sunshine. Hi, peace. Most definitely, all the time. Yes. Hi, Michael. And this is where our journaling comes in so handy, because when we are writing these things down, you are also changing the pattern and seeing what's happening and releasing them. Once you acknowledge this is how I'm feeling, yucky today, immediately you're shifting. You are recognized. It's done with the purpose. Okay, now that I'm acknowledging it, what can I do about it? But most of the time, we don't even realize, we don't even acknowledge it, we don't even see, or we are in that fog. We don't want to do the work because the work is harder, painful, emotional, and we don't want to invest time on that. That is amazing, Chelsea. She says, the time I used to spend thinking about negatives, I now spend investing into creating a positive environment and lifestyle. That is amazing. And you know what? One of the things that I have changed is since 12 years, stopped reading any dramatic novels or watching movies that will be causing us stare. Of course, I love the true story ones movies, but there is a real drama there which will connect to me, but not these sci-fi, not sci-fi even, like, where you're being shown life is all happy endings all the time. It's so far from the realities, and then we try to create that reality. It doesn't happen. Again, without that dip moment, there can't be up moment as well. Like, changing our environment is so important. Yeah, changing what we are being inspired by, like, definitely, like, as you're thinking positive things, for me, like, I need a load of sticky notes all around my house. Like, sticky notes does the magic. Decals, the positive words on the walls or the doors everywhere, they do the trick to me. Like, if I do a painting, it has to have some positive words on it that are the constant reminders of it. Yeah. Altars are great as well to change, reshift your focus. I have altars nearly in every room. I don't light a candle when I'm not in there, but otherwise I have with the crystals and also with some incense, again some flowers all around the home as well. It's just the shift in the energy is so needed, and you need that support as well in the environment that you're living in. Now, one of the things with the raising your vibrations, you find it difficult is you're thinking about all these things. It's fantastic, it's great, but then you go back, like, to your place, your environment, it's all cluttered up. Again, like, we can't do what we wanted to do because it's so cluttered. Our energy gets cluttered and we change and we shift. That is again like, doesn't match up with to what you're thinking. Like, it's not the same vibe of energy that you're calling in and you're doing it. So try to have a clutter-free environment. Like, doesn't mean that you go and sort everything out, but at least start with one room, like, where you find that is my space. This is, or a chair, like, a corner of the room, even like, oh, this is my space, and where you own, and you keep it clutter-free, energy-free as well, with any stagnant energies pumping up there. Yeah, I would do this talk recently. I did this talk of how to keep your homes with the energy clearance, like, how you can take care of it. So that is again like the most important thing. Whatever you do for your body, your mind, your soul, everything lives in that home is so important. The same with your work environment as well. On my work, like when I was doing the day job in the corporate environment, my desk had loads of plants, crystals, and little angel things. And people used to drop by and say, I just love being around in that space at their coffee breaks, and then go back to recharging themselves. Like, the plants do the magic. Yeah. So having some indoor plants is amazing to change and shift the frequencies that you are at as well. And simply that allows you to push yourself and remind yourself, like, when I have a little time, trying to get onto the Insighttimer or podcast or something, listen up and get recharged. Refuel is so important. Uh, that will help us a long way. It's not that all the time that you need to be focusing, but what happens is when you are touching those soft spots of your soul is happier, you want to go back again. Don't you want to go back to the beach that you had a great time, or to holiday that you had a great time? Even if you can't physically go, don't you swipe up through looking at the pictures all the time, saying like, I love to be back there? You keep imagining because you had a great memory. And now when you witness that you had a good vibes around you, you want to be back there and you're doing everything to be back there. First thing, witness it. It's such a magical space to be at. So anytime you're at the low moment in your life, you don't want to be there for too long. You definitely will be calling out and speaking, screaming for help. Crystals to raise your vibrations, SQL. I hope I got your name right. Any crystals will do. There is no good or bad crystals. Whatever you're drawn to, definitely the crystals will shift the vibrations that you're in. To begin with, citrine, hematite, black obsidian, smoky quartz, clear quartz, amethyst, you can bring them up. These will clear up the negative energies and recharge, refuel with positive vibes. Yeah, definitely. If you're a crystal holder, it's great. I said, like I leave crystals all around the house. It's amazing. Yeah, what they can do. And I don't do it in my car. I've seen my friends leaving the crystals in the car. I kind of always think I need to do it. Yeah, so that is again the other thing as well. And connecting with the angels, bringing your spirit high. Sometimes you can call in your friends to help and support you. Hey, I'm not feeling great. How about I can talk to you for some time, or meet for a coffee, or virtual Zoom tea? I have done that with my friends over the last year. So you can do that. You'll feel so good. Ask for the support in case you don't have that soul tribe who can understand it. um, you can do it by your family members, or by yourself as well. And don't think that you don't deserve it. You deserve the best, that you can spend time and do it for yourself. Yeah, and that way you are shifting the energies. Now think about inside Timer, there are so many circles. I don't see any reason why we can't find our soul tribe anymore here. Definitely, years ago when we were on this journey, if anyone has been journey in the early decade or so, you may not have had these portals. There used to be meetup groups or something, and it used to be very awkward to talk about hey, I don't feel good. Immediately you'll have the eyes rolling over you. But hey, now it's so beautiful portals that we have. You are not being judged, and it's the honesty, true to yourself. I don't feel good today. That's okay. And it's okay not to feel good. And say it out loud. One thing that always used to bug me in the corporate world is when you go for your tea breaks, you are standing there and someone will start a conversation by, hey, how are you doing today? And by the time even you say not great, the person is gone. They're not even spending time and holding the space for you to understand or to listen to you. So definitely, you have your soul tribes. We are living in a very fortunate times. We just need to call or ask or seek, and we are getting the support. And that's the most important thing. Yeah, remember that. By changing the shift and environment. Sound healing is amazing as well to raise our vibrations. Any healing is good. I do self healing Reiki, pranic healing, Kundalini Reiki, and Akashic Records. It's pure meditations. Again, they shift the vibrations, mindfulness techniques, but also the sound. I have these wind chimes in the house, outside as well. If you have them, those sounds shift your vibration because they are speaking to your soul again. If not, you can just get a little Smaller bowls, like, yeah, this kind, and play the music and let it speak if you don't want. And net. So many tools on the sound that we can play and listen to that speaks to our soul. That's the most important thing. Again, there is no reason to say, like, I can't do this, or I don't know where I can buy those. We don't need to buy anything. And actually, I have seen a couple of wonderful Insighttimer teachers who does the sound healings and also some instrumental ones. And you can just sit and listen, and your vibration changes, isn't it? That's the most important thing. And now, when we are shifting everything, sometimes there could be a phone call or a text message. Did you ever feel that? You are so sassing up, you're such a great place. One text message just flattens our energy out. Did anyone experience that? It could be from your parents, it could be from your siblings or a friend, like, hey, I'm in trouble, like, or telling about their problem. And this is it. Like, you have built up so much portal, and that's it, done, gone, like, and that is the most important thing. Like, it's a testing time for us. Can I do this, or am I doing this right? Like, it's a questioning to yourself. And wow, wonderful. Like, these challenges are great. It's coming up on my way, and I can do this. And with that attitude, you are passing a bit of your goodness to them, or saying your boundary, hey, can I come back to you later? Take a deep breath. After you see that message, take a deep breath. I'll attend to it later. I'll attend to it later. And that way you're not losing a moment. On my birthday, I was having a great time, and we were at the pottery place, and I got a text message from a family member, and it really upset me with the message. It took 5 minutes. I was literally shaking, like, it's just not right. Like, on my birthday, for this to happen. And then immediately what I did, I'm here having great fun with my family. Do I know to go back to this energetic card that I'm having and just disconnect with my reality here? Or shall I continue engaging with my family and have a great time and come back to it later? Because my birthday is a day that comes only once a year. And I'm going to have this as a fun time, like, and I deserve this happiness. So, as my children and my husband, everyone to be together, like, they have taken their time off to do something as together, and then changing that energy. And that made me like, I can control my thoughts, I can control my surroundings. And that is a big shift. Like, again, when you have that control on your thoughts, or you have a grip that I'm bringing myself back fully. And that is the best thing. That is the best thing. That's a gift that you're giving to yourself. And you don't need to be at everyone's service all the time, remember? And sometimes people are just being there as a leeches, that energy of sucking vibe from you, rather than appreciating or being there and raising you to with your dreams, right? And this is where do you want to put, or where do you want to invest in yourself, like, which is your good thing, what you want to do. That's the one thing that you would be questioning. A lot of people, when they are getting Reiki trained, they say, like, when they finish Reiki level 1 and they're coming to the Reiki level 2 workshop, they'll say, oh, I'm not getting along well with my husband or family member. They don't get it. Remember, they don't get it because you are the one learning all these techniques. You are changing. They are not used to that change. So they don't get us. They feel insecure, but it is our way to explain, I'm doing this for myself, it's good for me, and it's healthy for me, and once I'm in a good place, I can help anyone. And when we start sharing that knowledge, they are going to change the view over the time, maybe not immediately, like, they need to get used to that as well. Your energy could be threatened to them, like, did you ever feel that it's too much for them to handle, or a threat? And that's the reason we become the last, the black sheep in our families, or I say now as a white sheep, like, and that is the most important thing to recognize and reshift the focus on it. Yeah. And once you train them, and as I talk to these guys later on, I say, no, we are back. We are happy. My husband gets it, like my friend gets me now, or we have taken some break in our relationship. We are going to come back, So the things are not going at a very fast pace, and they slow down. You really think, reevaluate what is needed for you, and then put your soul into it. Yeah, that's so important as well. To really look into with those boundaries, with your thoughts, with the again the people that are holding you up as well. And when someone leaves in your life, don't be sad about it, celebrate, because your contract with them is done for now, and there is a new contract going to come up with someone else. And that I understood only by reading the Akashic Records and understanding from that soul level how all this is working up. I used to be upset if someone friend would not speak to me or doesn't understand to me, but then I started realizing, actually, this is interesting, um and giving that new opportunity is what my soul needed at that moment of time. Like, there are the pressing the buttons sometimes happens, and then you get a big gap, and then you get a supporter team, and once in a while you get these little buttons to be pressed. But every time you go deep down, you realize that you are more strong bouncing back as well. And that is the most important thing. Anytime a dark night of the soul has hit you, or your soul has lost its way along the path of your journey, remember, it's getting stronger. It's like fuzzball accumulating all its layers again and getting back to be more stronger as well. And that is one thing I realized, without all my traumas, without all my instances that have happened in my life, I wouldn't be here, or I wouldn't be who I am today. 12 years ago, I'm a completely different person. I didn't even know any of this, to speak to you guys. Yeah. But saying that, this is what I love talking about, the healing. Or someone says, the first thing someone says, I'm a healer, or I practice something. I say, what was your story? I love listening to the stories. Without those stories, without those little incidences in your life, we are not truly who we are today. And that makes you being that empath, understanding, considering as well. So, yeah, always be true to yourself, be honest to yourself. And our friends, our family circle may not have the same spiritual awakening experience. So they may not get that what you mean until they go through their journeys. And saying this, I have seen many friends coming back and joining me now, hand in hand. Hey, let's do this healing work together. Whereas before they gave me the strange looks, what are you up to? Like, you teach meditation in schools? Are you crazy? Leaving your a good 9 to 5 job and doing these things? But now, they are joining me. I'm so happy. It's like that domino effect. You change, and surroundings change, and people change, and we are all there in that collective force doing this work together. And this work that we are doing to raise our consciousness, raising our vibrations, it's for everyone. It's for everyone. It's not one person's thing, and that is what I love about, we all have our uniqueness. And again, you're gifted with your own things, and you are beautiful inside out, and you are speaking your truth, you're living your light. And that's the most important thing. The more we are waking up, living our light, the world becomes so happier as well. To everything that goes on, right? There is a shift that comes in. With any storm that comes in, there is so much of a debris that comes out of it. And then the cleansing phase happens as well, right? The biggest thing is tsunami, because I have close my friends, had very close encounters. The stories that inspired me to look deep into the tsunami ones back those years, and to what happened then, to what they have rebuilt now, is amazing, what we can do with ourselves. And that's the thing with the pandemic as well, this big events that happen. I know all the along, we might be losing our family members, it's heartbreaking and everything, not able to see Our friends, hug them or see the smiles in the other souls, but then your soul is speaking to it. You don't need to see the faces, see beyond the mask, because your consciousness is higher. And when you look from that point, you see the soul vibes. And that is what again like makes us feel connected as well. And again with the pandemic as well, one of the best blessings I'm hearing from many people is I got time for myself. I did so many things that I have never done before, like, and this is fascinating, this is interesting, I'm rediscovering my life. Bingo. So try look for the good things even through the debris as well, like, and that's the best way, the positive aspect or the positive thoughts that can keep you going. Yeah. Do you guys see that? Like, how many of you have truly benefited from the whole lockdowns that are happening? And there is a lot of another advantage happened was or happening to many people is we weren't seeing our family members or we weren't seeing the people often, and that kept our own vibes to ourselves, isn't it? Like, not being there to everyone's service as well, so that was another good thing. Yeah. But now that other part of it I'm hearing is even I had this little social anxiety when I started meeting people, like, yeah, oh my god, how do I speak to them, how do I do this, like, but you get used to, you see that soul. And again, that's one of the things I learned from that whole soul part of understanding or still understanding the journey is when you connect from the soul to soul level, you see only the goodness, because it's the body that makes you take over and make you do all the things that we do, like, at the bigger level you never want to hurt anyone, but here this body wants to protect and take care of the situation that you're in. And then you say the main things, or you're egoistic, or you're saying or protecting yourself, that is the shield or the armor that we are putting on and doing it, like, yeah, because when we are vulnerable you don't know who is going to attack you, and that is the safeguard that you want to do it, isn't it? And think about with your soul tribe, I never have to do that. I'm myself with my total soul tribe. But when it comes to the people that I just encounters or the corporate environment I was in, or the family members didn't understand, I would have that shield on. It's like, no, when they get to see me, they will see me. Of course, Maya, you are in the soul tribe. Yes, you can join the circle, but being here is your soul tribe, Maya. That's the most important thing. Yeah. And I see being in some of the circles or in our circle as well, like, it's like, I need healing today. Like, I don't feel good. Like, healing is on your way. That's it. Like, how could you not feel good like today? No questions asked about it. Yeah. Because not every day is the same thing. You don't want to live in that every day being the same thing, isn't it? I finally got to watch the Groundhog last year with the whole Netflix shows, and I got the concept of it. Yeah, of course. Like, it's so boring, isn't it? Without those dip moments, you can't see the high things. Yeah, without touching that cold water, you don't know the emphasis of the warm water as well. Yeah, so definitely it's all for good. Yeah, but it's the most important thing is not to be there in the low vibe for too long. Low vibes are caused by the situation, circumstances, the thoughts, and everything. And for a longer time, those thoughts are in your mind. They are going to make a imprint in your physical presence. And I truly believe that our thoughts create the physical damage it does to us. My arthritis wasn't just caused like that. It was all the anger, it was all the negative thoughts that I was having for over years has caused that arthritis. And when I shifted it, it's gone. Like, it doesn't affect me at all. And one of the best things is this book that I highly, highly recommend. You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. It changed my life and her teachings and everything at the initial days. And it gave me a perspective, and that made me feel to be part of the tribe, that I'm not the only one. Because for many years I thought it's only me, it's only me. If I'm not here, nobody will miss me. Did you ever feel that? Like, but then I felt, no, I'm part of it. I need to be here to do something valuable. And that was a soul searching coming in. And when you find that part, your value, it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing. Are you guys resonating with it? And now consumption into the body as well with the food. Food is coming from different places. We have stopped growing our food. We are coming back to growing our foods now. Again, thanks to last year that many people started having the vegetable patches or doing the little bit they could, like, to grow their own herbs even, like, yeah. And that's something is so important to nurture inside out as well. It's like whatever you're putting the thoughts, how much it is valuable to the food you're taking in as well. And now your food speaks to you. When you're having that chocolate bar, when you're having those fries, it's coming to you as, hey, don't eat it, it's not good for you. But when the mind is over, like we just dig into it, and then I feel like, oh no, we shouldn't have done that, isn't it? And or have an extra serving, and then you realize I should have listened to myself. I have done that many times. I'm getting better at it, I would say, but not the best yet. But that's what we are, like, So here is the thing, like, not all the time you can know where your produce is coming from. People say, oh, you need to consume organic. I don't know what is organic here at this stage. I don't personally, I don't believe that has a stamp saying it's organic when I don't see where it is coming from. If it's from my vegetable patch, I know what I'm putting in there. Or I go to a farmer's market, I know, or I get to know them, I know, understand their energies. Then you feel like, and one thing is big time difference that I'm noticing is organic foods stay longer, fresher. The ones that are with chemicals, they just go off so quick as well. That's the other thing you will notice it, like, as you understand your relation with your food as well. The best thing is not everything can be done in that way. Bless your food, bless with that beautiful gratitude. Thank you for the food to be on my table and consume it. At least you're taking the toxic away or the things that are not going to be for your highest vibe to be taken away. And eat, you can have the cheat meals, but try to consume the vibes that bring the goodness into you. Like, it doesn't mean that you need to do celery juice every day, but it could be like a couple of times a week. Try to have it, like, so you are noticing the vibrations to be changing. Now, don't get me wrong. Many people did say, hey, when you meditate, you should give up, be vegans, be vegetarians, and everything. But listen to your body, not to what says anyone. Sometimes you need something. Maybe it's not needed for someone else. Like, judge by your body what it needs, because you are the best teacher for yourself, no matter who says what. Always listen to your gut. So true, Sunshine. Yeah, the fresh food tastes so good. Like, yeah. And one thing that I noticed is we have been so sugar coated. Like anything that looks good is what we take in for. But then I noticed I started growing some of the vegetables is they don't look perfect to what the shops are, but they are delicious is what I can say, like, so we have been so trained into these hybrids, perfect ones, but then at the end you realize what exactly is a perfect thing, right? Where is it coming from? Nature has its own way to grow, and so we are putting so much pressure on ourselves. Don't be caught up in that. Yeah, my 2-year-old and I harvested some squash yesterday and had it with our dinner. He was so happy. We grew it in our garden. Oh my God, that's amazing, Chelsea. That is amazing. And also what I noticed is some of the vegetables that we don't like them, when we grow, you actually eat them because they taste better. They taste better. Because, yeah, I don't like pumpkin at all, but we just got a pumpkin yesterday, so we're going to see the change there. It's not my favorite one to cook, but I always do. But I guess it will be a different one as we consume. Kids love gardening, don't they? Don't they love touching the earth, getting messy, all that, like, the slugs, snails, and everything. I didn't grow up with that kind. My parents didn't let me do gardening when we were younger. It's like, oh, you're going to get messy, you don't want to do this. Now I still have that, and I have to do gardening. It takes a little bit time. I'll be watering them, looking after them, sending the healing vibes. I still will be uncomfortable outside in the garden. Indoor plants, I love. I'll do all the potting, repotting, everything. I'm okay with that. Yeah. But I see my youngest child, she is so messy. She loves it. She can dig up and get all the mud all over. And so earthing, so grounding, so peace, like, connecting to the nature. And that's the best thing. Yeah. I'm just checking. Yeah, one of the things is that biggest emotion portals that we also do hold up is the unforgiveness. Not able to forgive ourselves from the past, and that holds up a lot of draining energies as well. If you notice when you're in the parties or someone talks to you, they're talking about the old drama that has happened 10, 15, 30 years ago. I do hear that, like in my family gatherings, when I go to India, when I connect back to the families, extended family members, and people haven't been in their situations anymore, or the people who meant something are not even alive anymore, but we are living with those holds or grudges or unforgiveness, and we are damaging ourselves, and that is eating us away. It's like a hot coal, it's burning us inside out. And with that, such a dark energy, dark emotion, when you're trying to plant the good vibes, it does take a long more time to bring cleanse and shift up. Yeah. Now that's other thing that you can think about is with the limiting beliefs. Are you in the same cycle of thoughts about the past? Or where are you with your thoughts in the moment? Sometimes they do come, but are you spending more time in the past? Re-questioning yourself and setting, it doesn't mean what they have done is right or wrong, but does it help us right now is what you need to question yourself. And with that, try shifting, changing it. Yeah. I forgive myself is what I begin with. If it resonates with you, start with that. Place a hand on your heart and say, I forgive myself. And sometimes we would have done mistakes, who are we? It's only lifetimes we are living here, and we would have done without knowing it or unknowingly as well. And here we forgive ourselves. And that moment comes in as you work with the energies that you don't mind saying apologies or sorry to someone else that you would have heard, that you have realized it. And that's the biggest awakening again. It's such a freedom as well. I'm so sorry for behaving like that, not knowing it. There is this instance. When we were just the couples with no children, a lot of our friends had young children, and they used to ask us to do sleepovers because the children would love it. And back then in Ireland, there was not many Indian communities, so the children would have loved to see more of the same people who can speak the same language. But I came from a place where sleepovers I have never ever done, and sleeping in someone's house is like totally no. And I would be resisting a lot, and I have declined many times to my friends saying, no, I can't do it. Until I had my own children and started staying out or trying to share the beds with the friends coming over and stuff slowly changing. And then I realized, like, oh my God, now I get it why my friends at the time they were asking so much. And then I said to them, I'm so sorry. We should have done a bit more, for the kids. Like, that is what the most important moments were there for them at that beautiful young ages. But then I was in my own growth as well at the time. Rather than being over beating up myself with the thoughts, I said, I'm so sorry about it. And I started working on myself as well, being open, being more conscious to what's happening when I'm saying no. Am I saying from my beliefs, or am I saying to protect myself? That's again other thing, and shifting those energies. Yeah. So that's the most important thing again, always question. It's okay to question yourself. Um, it's better because you are stronger, and someone talks to you anything, your strong points, then you're not justifying, and it doesn't even need to validate for others. right? Sometimes you don't even justify to others because you know who you are, and nothing changes by someone's criticisms or their thoughts, because you had to be that way to whatever reasons it is justifiable to you, and that gives you peace as well. Yeah, when we are changing all these things to raise our vibrations, definitely your health gets better, your emotions are in a more balanced place, you're sleeping better, more energy, and you're doing things that are inspiring your soul rather than doing things as a routine or to do things. And self-care becomes major part of your life as well, that you are committed towards it. Yeah. So there is a lot of good values, and you see that you are only spending, prioritizing things that means something to you. And isn't it such a big gift, isn't it? Yeah. And there is so much to do in this world as well, to learn, to understand life from different perspectives. It's never ending. I have a huge checklist to learn more about healings. Yeah. Shamanism is one of the things that I have been trying to engage on, spend some time, understand, and go deeper to who we are as well, and quantum healing even more deeply, because what we talk or we are doing is only tiny bit is what I see. There is such a depth and ocean, and getting the time when you are in a good vibe, this is like you are so thirsty for more knowledge and you find it so good about yourself. Star Seeker, hey, it's also good to question what you have learned from your culture. It might be holding you back from wonderful experiences. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. The culture, the social dynamics, they hold a big part as well. And the culture would have done is to protect themselves. And maybe it was needed at the time, but we are shifting. It's not needed so much at this moment of time, right? And things are shifting. It's like simple thing, like when I was channeling in the angels, and Archangel Metatron came in, and I was talking to a couple of friends about it, and they said like, "Oh, Archangel Metatron is like on the higher vibe. Like you can't speak to him. Like the same. Like you can't speak to the gods directly. You need to go to the priest and everything. No offense to any religion or anything. That's just a personal experience." But then I sat with it. Isn't it everyone so different how we do it and what you can do it? What are we afraid of? Like, listening to that. And for me, uh, my dad always said there is a prayer room. You can go and pray there, but also there is a God within you. Doesn't mean you always need to go into the prayer room to pray. The ambience is good. It helps you to quieten your mind, but there is always that God inside you. So it's all about like how we perceive things and what we are bringing up as well. And thanks to the diversity of so much, now we get to learn from each other as well. And I see there is so much of uniqueness in each of the cultures that we are growing up with, and so much to learn and know that it's just not yours only, like many others speak the same language. So again, you're forming your own tribe of understanding from a different perspective. And if any Indians are here, like that's one of the things that I tell my people is, we were never taught what exactly is Hinduism. As I started learning a little bit about it, is like it's a way of life. And I wish there were schools, classes for us as a part of a curriculum to understand more, like, because all the spirituality is coming from all our sacred scribes as well, like, right? It would have been such a different thing. If only meditation was normal, if only telling us to breathe was normal from our belly breath, like, or sound healing was normal, life would have been so easier. As I was so interested in getting understanding more about shamanism, I treated myself with the drum. And when I got the drum, like some of my family members were like, "What drum? Like, what do you mean by like, it's because in India, only some caste of the people do it, which are the tribes who do the ceremonies of like, when there is a death happens or when there is change in the life event happens, they are there, not the normal people. Isn't it like, because they hold a different portal, they are given those gifts, and yet we are not trained. And it's like you had your own functionality to be done and you didn't want to tamper with them, and you had to be in those silos of it. And now when someone does something different, you're being conditioned on those situations. But here, like, it's so needed. You need to do everything, you need to learn everything, what's right for your soul. Yeah. Yes, thanks to the culture in another way as well. This is who we are. It shapes us to be who we are becoming as well. And now we look into the strength of it as well. Take the gifts with us along and understand our life deeply. Hey guys, how was it? I know we are over the time now, but I know there is so much more to share. Like, yeah, it's amazing energy in the live today here with you all, guys. Yeah, I know I kept talking a lot. It's so different to my other ones because I do the meditations as well. Let me know any questions, anything that is resonating with you. So try, like, I just give a snapshot of what you can do to raise your vibrations: music, dance, sacred altars, cutting the cords with Archangel Michael, or just thinking about like any negative energies around me to be released and disintegrated, or violet flame to take away into, or Mother Earth take all that because she can recharge them. Crystals, again, like, they are great journaling, writing down gratitude, salt baths, Epsom salts, some Himalayan salts, some what else, like, walking in the nature. This is great again, like, the first thing in the morning, the thoughts that you put in is so important, to the last thing in the night as well. And also, this shall pass. This is the other thing you can chant. Whatever you're in the tough situation, you can say, this is going to pass as well. Like, nothing is going to be there forever. And no matter who says what, things have to be flowing. Things have to be moving like a waves, like come and go, like, or the heartbeat, they go up and down. So whichever way you want to see it, everything is changing. Change your thoughts and acknowledge on your thoughts, and have a self inquiry from time to time how your week has been, or how your day is going. Spend some time with that. Yeah, quality time with yourself is so important. Forgiveness as well. um, I would suggest, if there is a book that you're going to get, this is a great one. Other than that, A Course in Miracles as well is a good one to start reading. It's a heavy blue book, as many say, but take your time to dig into it. There are many online versions as well. And I know some teachers were doing Course in Miracles 30 days or something like that, a talk on Insighttimer. So it is great, to be doing, setting your intentions. All that is, I'm raising my vibration, I'm shifting my vibrations to be good vibes. Even saying that positive words, it will change. And no matter what's happening, it's always that the change in the words is the so important. That's the most important thing. Yeah. And definitely don't let one experience, one instance, or one thought, one low vibe moment determine who you are. People might say, hey, you are always sulking, or you have been in this place before. Like, don't let that sit with you. Because at that moment, you had to take some time to be sad, to be going through the grief, to be overcoming your emotions. Doesn't mean that you're that person forever. Don't let those incidents, those words rule you for your life. Your life is bigger, more valuable, more worth it, because you are living. There is a reason you're living here in this time and age, going through, seeing everything, and there is a purpose to it. Add that purpose, the value, into each of the steps that you're going to set ahead. Think about, what is my value for today? What can I contribute today? Like, and how can I change someone? And with that, I would like to ask you guys. So you can follow me if you like the session. Definitely, more than welcome to connect with you guys, and we can do the donation if this resonated, and as an energy exchange, because it helps me and also the Insighttimer. I'll be so grateful for that. And there are some meditations and podcasts as well on Insighttimer that you can check. I do one-to-one work where you can find in the bio the links for it. Other than that, I wanted to bring this new change. I think today's live, I wanted to introduce this. My youngest daughter, she's 12 and she's writing her book, and one of her chapters is complimenting. And so when she was writing this chapter last month, what she has done over the summer is writing each of us a little sticky notes and saying every day, she was writing to each one of us and saying how much she loves us, what she loves us about, like, the smile it could be, or the food we do, or the way we take care of her, everything. It was so special. And that made us do that for the rest of the family members. A little compliment, like, we would do the sticky notes on their doors for the children and for my husband, or the vice versa for me too, and leave it up. And when they wake up in the morning or they go out and come back, they see that little surprise, and that just changes their vibrations again, or changes their whatever their, because they have been missing to meet friends and everything. It's not the ideal children's life right now anyway. And that made, once she wrote the chapter, that inspired me to share with you guys and say, how about you give a compliment to another person every single day, to one person, at least in your life, and mean it from your heart. What it is doing is, it's like an icebreaker, no matter you know them or not. The presence, the hair, the body, the dress they wear, or the soul, anything, just say, you look so good. And that makes someone's day, no matter where they are in their life. And that will shift their energies. And that is your gift, your light speaking to them. Would you do this? Are you in this? Complimenting one person at least every single day. Truly from your heart. And think about it, such a beautiful blessings you're going to get back. And it's just priceless, the way it comes back. Way someone compliments you when they hardly know you, or they know you and say something nice, immediately your soul is connected to that soul. No matter what the shield that we are holding up, you are directly connecting to the soul. It's so important. So let's do this, guys. And I would love your support to do that and see how you feel. And let me know when you're back on next live with me, sharing your experience, or you can message me or put it up in the circle. And yeah, just feel those energies. Yes, I do one-to-one readings, Star Seeker. You can find in the bio link for that. Akashic readings, I love it. There has been a request in the circle to do a meditation to get to know the relationships in the Akashic Records. So I'm going to schedule one soon for maybe the following week, the week after. So do check that out. And love to have you guys there. Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you, Peace. This is amazing, amazing. I love this energy. I feel the expansion in my heart. What's a circle? It's the experience healing with Srimanju. Sunshine, there is this now with the new upgrade with the app. When you click on my name, you get to my details, and it says like circles as well. So you can just join there. Hey, Monica, thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for being here and showing up, doing the work for you and for me, for everyone. Collective force, like, the collective thing, and being part of the soul tribe. I love sharing here. So I'm back tomorrow. Let me check what is the topic. Tomorrow is connecting with Archangel Gabriel. We'll be doing the meditation. As said, I think, Elena, this might be good for you if you're going to make it, because I find Archangel Gabriel and Ganesha to be the similar energies. And so we can talk about it and get into the meditation. He's all about getting clarity, wisdom, and also any new beginnings we're going to do. He's going to give us the guidance to it. Yeah, so connecting to his energies. So that will be a fun one to do. So thank you guys, and thank you so much for your love and your donations and your follows and being here. That means a lot to me. So any thoughts come up, anything you would like to comment? Yeah, here or in the personal space as well. Most welcome to. Thank you guys and take care. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, wherever you are, and lots of blessings. Thank you. Namaste. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Thank you guys. Take care.